Welcome to BBC Points West on this wonderful Wednesday where the weather is fine and our football hopes are high. Thank you for joining us. I'm David Garmston. Our main story tonight, caught in the act. A domestic abuser is sentenced to 20 years after a violent assault on his partner is recorded on her 999 call.
I did this for every woman who goes through it, and it's been brutal for me, but for him to get what he's got, we've done it and it's been worth it.
The police say domestic abuse now takes up a fifth of their time. Our other headlines tonight: on high alert for fires as the West Country bakes in the sun. In Swindon, a new operation which has given a patient her best night's sleep in years.
And I'm at Ashton Gate where more than 2,000 people are gathering hoping to watch England's men reach their first World Cup final since 1966.
Hello, good evening. A woman from North Somerset who was attacked by her former partner has seen him sentenced to 20 years in prison. The woman rang 999 when she was assaulted before managing to hide her phone in some plants, so the entire call was recorded. Our Home Affairs correspondent Fiona Lambton has the story.
We have honey glazed carrots and parsnips, red cabbage, homemade Yorkshire puddings, yeah.
Kaz Goddard, a local legend filmed by the BBC, cooking hundreds of Christmas meals for the homeless. And helping alongside her in the kitchen, James Stock, who was soon to become the love of her life. But just 4 months later, everything changed.
I'd get abuse, so I'd get messages about you're a skank, you're this, you're that, you're ugly. I was starting to see messages on his phone. I'm talking 50, 60 dating sites on his phone, all sorts of dating sites, messages from women everywhere.
And when Kaz challenged him, the relationship became violent. Finally, last July, she asked him to leave.
After he'd strangled me downstairs, I then came up here and sort of sat on my bed in a bit of shock, as you would. And then that's when I heard him coming back up the stairs again. And he was saying, I'm going to kill you. I've done it again, I'm going to kill you. And I thought, what on earth? And then literally he came up and he started strangling me again. And then that was the time when I suddenly thought, grab my phone, and I dialed 999.
Has he hurt you, lovely, is he?
He's going to kill me. He said he's going to kill me.
It was pretty much straight away I knew something wasn't right, and then within, a couple of seconds or a minute, it just sort of escalated massively.
My leg's been all...
Kaz escaped through the back door, but within seconds, Stock had caught up with her.
And then I literally got to about here, because I remember hearing one foot on the gravel, and he literally smashed my face, came up behind, got me, smashed my face against the rockery. And I remember just putting my phone upside down, like that, hidden somewhere.
Hiding her phone under the plants, so everything was recorded. Most of what happened for the next 16 minutes is too distressing to broadcast.
I'm still here, lovely, if you can hear me, all right. This is the police, if you can hear me. We've got a ranger to help.
You could hear the fact that she was being punched, she was being dragged along the floor. You could tell that she was visibly sort of in and out of consciousness because she was responding, not responding. It was upsetting, it was distressing, and at that point I genuinely thought that she potentially could have been dead.
Stay there! Police officer with taser! See the red dot?
With officers now at the scene, the call handler's job was over.
Can I hang up now?
At first, police don't know if Kaz is alive.
Zoe, torch, please.
Caroline?
Come in.
She is breathing.
Caroline!
Caroline!
Help her!
You okay?
Help her, please!
Right, she's breathing.
She's breathing, she's awake.
One, got an adult female,
okay?
she's conscious, breathing, she's badly beaten. We need an ambulance here ASAP, please.
Caroline, can you hear me?
Stock was arrested, but refused to talk to the police.
Upon arrest, you have stated she said she fell over, but I think it was me. Do you wish to add anything to that statement?
A year on, Kaz still struggles to breathe. She's waiting for surgery for her broken nose.
In sentencing James Stock, the judge said you carried out a brutal and sustained attack both inside and outside the home, where Caroline Goddard was entitled to feel safe.
I did this for every woman who goes through it, and it's been brutal for me, but for him to get what he's got, we've done it and it's been worth it.
Fiona Lambden, BBC Points West.
Wessex Water is to face criminal charges over an explosion at a water treatment plant 5.5 years ago. 4 men died in the blast at Avonmouth. One of them was an apprentice and only 16 years old. Well, Martin Jones from our investigations team has been following this story and joins me now. Martin, this was obviously a terrible tragedy, but developments today.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's probably the worst industrial accident in the west of England in living memory. A silo storing a kind of fertiliser exploded in December 2020. And the 4 men who'd been working on the roof of that silo, that's Mike James, Brian Vickery, Raymond White and Luke Wheaton, were killed. Now, what we've heard today is that Wessex Water as a company will face criminal charges. Now, the police dropped potential manslaughter charges in July 2024. So this is under the Health and Safety at Work Act. And my understanding is that this is unlikely to result in individuals facing jail sentences. If there is a conviction, more likely to result in the company facing a large fine.
After all this time, do we know what caused the explosion?
Well, there was evidently some kind of pressure build-up within the silo and the roof blew off in the explosion. Now, one expert has told me he believes that that's a result of a build-up of dust which caught fire. Another said to me that he thought that was a build-up of gas. There's no doubt, though, that something went catastrophically badly wrong at Avonmouth. I mean, that is clear. 4 people died. What this prosecution will try to establish is whether the failings were so bad they were criminal. And today, Wessex Water has issued a statement. It says that the HSE has informed us of its decision to prosecute. They say they will always remember Brian Vickery, Ray White, Luke Wheaton and Mike James. And they say their thoughts are with their families, friends and colleagues.
What strikes me about all this, Martin, is the time this has taken. Poor Luke, who was only 16, he would have been 21 now.
Yeah, I mean, 5.5 years, it's an extraordinarily long time, not only for the families, but also for the wider water industry. Are there safety lessons that people need to learn? And the wait will go on. We don't know exactly when this will come to court. My understanding is the charges haven't even been laid before the court yet. That said, though, the bringing of criminal charges is a significant moment in the search for answers.
Martin, thanks very much. Thank you. Experts say there's a very high chance of wildfires in Somerset because of the continuing heat wave. Farmers say they've never seen the ground so dry. Here's Ross Pollard.
A large wildfire near Ilminster a few days ago, tearing through trees, grassland and even an electricity pylon. 4 fire crews tackled the blaze using special equipment. And it's this risk of fire that's keeping many landowners up at night. A few miles down the road in Isle Brewers, there may be a heat wave on this farm, but that doesn't stop the work being done.
And as you can see, as we walk into the field, you just see how brown it is. There's no green. There's no green there at all.
And is this the driest you've ever seen it?
Yes, it is now. I mean, we've had 2 weeks of really hot weather. The risk to us of wildfires, just to carelessly throw match, cigarette or anything is terrible. I think we're all very anxious at the moment. We know, I mean, we've got conditions now we've probably never seen before. Drier than 1976, which people use as a reference year. Near us last week, we had 2 fires. It's all very much in everybody's minds. If you're a cereal farmer, you're out there harvesting your crop now. So you're out there with machinery, engines. Engines get hot bits on them. Dust collects in nooks and crannies on an engine, and it's very easy for that to combust.
Yesterday, a combine harvester caught fire in Compton Paunceford near Wincanton. Natural England says there's currently an exceptional risk of wildfires in Somerset. Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service are warning everyone to be careful.
We have specialist wildfire equipment, which is things like 4x4 vehicles, adapted leaf blowers. They essentially blow the fire out like you were blowing a candle out. So they work along the fire edge, upwind of the fire. The main cause of wildfires is almost entirely human interaction, like not lighting campfires, avoiding the use of barbecues in the countryside. Simple things, not extinguishing cigarettes, never littering. Discarded glass bottle could start a fire.
If you believe the old wives' tales about cows and the weather, it looks like it isn't going to rain anytime soon.
I've been here all my life and we've never seen it as dry as this.
Mark just hopes his tinderbox of a farm won't catch alight until the weather does change. Ross Pollard, BBC Points West in South Somerset.
We owe farmers so much, don't we, working in these very difficult conditions. And crews will be staying out overnight to put out a fire at a recycling centre in Avonmouth. It started in the early hours of this morning. People working or living near King's Western Lane were told to keep their doors and windows shut. Michael Cowan reports.
It's 1:30 in the morning and plumes of smoke can be seen coming from the Suez recycling facility in Avonmouth. A major incident is quickly declared, with residents told to shut their windows and doors. By lunchtime, that incident has been stood down, but crews are still battling the blaze, something the fire service said would continue for some time.
It was a large-scale incident which took a large number of resources to try and bring under control. We're going to be here, I think, for the most of today. We're definitely going to have resources in attendance for a number of hours. We're working hard whilst the public will see that the smoke plume has reduced significantly. There is still fire within the building and we're working hard to try and bring that under control and to fully extinguish it and ensure safety of everyone in attendance.
The incident was so big that crews from 14 stations, including from other counties, were brought in to help, causing huge traffic delays around the area.
Over 13 hours later, and as you can see, the building behind me is still smouldering and fire crews are still in attendance trying to put out the remnants of this blaze. Now, Suez, who operate this plant, also operate over 300 others across the country. And they say they average around 1.5 fires a day at their plants, largely attributable to lithium batteries, the type found in vapes. What do you suspect started this fire?
So the type of fire that we see here and the way it started would be indicative of a fire caused by a lithium battery, very typically like the ones that you'd see contained in disposable or rechargeable vapes. So although we can't conclude or be exact in what the source of the fire was, based on some of our previous experiences, we can be confident in what we've seen.
The company, who recycle for both public bodies and private clients, say they have contingency plans in place, meaning there'll be no delays to recycling collections or processing. Michael Cowan, BBC Points West in Avonmouth.
Well, you're watching Points West here on BBC One. How are your nerves? I hope you've got all the snacks ready for the big match at 8. But before then, there's lots more still to come, including...
I'm getting a peek behind the scenes at Bristol Dockyard's new SS Great Britain experience.
That, but first, a fraudster who pretended to be a wealthy army major to deceive two women he met dating online has been jailed. The judge said David Griffiths had told whopping lies about his life as he was sentenced to 3.5 years. Two women, including one from South Gloucestershire, handed over large sums of money to him for exclusive holidays he never actually booked.
I feel violated. I feel like he coerced. I feel like he's groomed me. I'm choosing to speak out because I believe this man has done this to other women. I do not believe we're the only women.
The MOD told the BBC its records showed Griffiths had only ever been in the Territorial Army, now called the Army Reserve, and he had previous convictions for defrauding a charity. Somerset Council's been told to take urgent steps to improve its finances by the government. In an official notice, it says the council is in a fragile financial position and must take urgent action. The Lib Dem-led authorities say they're already making the changes required. They'll have to report back to the government every 3 months. The Conservatives say it's a damning verdict on the state of the council's finances. Relatives of victims from the West Country who died in an RAF helicopter crash in 1994 have had a legal challenge against the MOD dismissed. 29 people died when the Chinook came down on the Mull of Kintyre. Families wanted a judicial review into the circumstances, but the judge said their claim had been brought too late. They may now take the case to the European Court of Human Rights. A woman from Wiltshire has become one of the first patients to try a new treatment for sleep apnea. Catherine Turnbull used to dread bedtimes, but now she's had surgery at the Great Western Hospital in Swindon. Georgia Eady has more.
Catherine has struggled with her sleep her whole life.
I was always tired in the day, put it down to just like diet and stuff, and then the doctor suggested do a sleep study, and I think I stopped breathing a lot during the night. I can't remember how many times, but it was a lot, and it was diagnosed as like severe obstructive sleep apnea. I wasn't really surprised because I was dropping asleep at work, so I kind of knew something wasn't right.
Sleep apnea is a common but serious condition where a person's breathing stops and starts during sleep. But like Catherine, people often don't know they have it for years.
Some of them even say, I think I've had this since I was a child. But they put it down to other things, especially women. It's the menopause, it's their job, it's they've got children that's keeping them awake. My own husband's got sleep apnea, so I've witnessed it in him. And it is quite frightening to watch somebody stop breathing and then start again, and then they can do that 100 times a night.
Wearing a continuous positive airway pressure mask, known as a CPAP, is what most sleep apnea patients use, but for Catherine it just didn't work.
I would wake up in the night trying to rip it off my face. I've tried every single mask going, but no, it's awful.
Without the machine, there weren't really any other options available until now.
There's a new treatment available, which is hypoglossal nerve stimulation, and that means pushing your tongue forward during the night to open up your airways. You have a generator that's implanted into your chest, and then a lead that goes up to the nerve that pushes your tongue forward. Before the patient goes to bed, they would use a remote control, a little bit like this. It looks a bit like an old-fashioned mouse. Turn it on for the night. It would come on once you start to fall asleep. And then, when you wake up in the morning, you can use a device to turn it off.
Although the treatment has already helped around 125,000 patients worldwide, Great Western Hospital in Swindon is one of only 5 trusts in the country able to offer this surgical option. CPAP is still the first choice treatment for most, but Catherine was one of the first to meet the strict set of criteria for surgery, and she had her device fitted in May.
Really, 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 really grateful. I really am, because I used to dread going to bed at night and I had to stay up and avoid it. And I think it's just paved the way for others as well, which is great.
Catherine's been told it will take up to a year to see the full results, but she hopes this will be the start of something she's waited a lifetime for, a full night's sleep. Georgia Eady, BBC Points West.
It's nice to have some good news. Well, let's look at some of the stories on the BBC News website this evening, shall we? Here we go. An MP's voice has been damaged after surgery for a thyroid problem. Anna Sabine from Frome is having speech therapy. She's been encouraged by the broadcaster Nick Robinson, who overcame similar problems. Plans to build 70 homes at a beauty spot have been rejected. The houses were going to be built near Cam, but a planning inspector has said no. And cyclists are planning to ride around Bristol naked next month. It's called a celebration of cycling and the human body. Let's hope they're careful with their bicycle clips. You can find all those stories and so much more on the BBC News app. A new museum exploring the lives of those who travelled on this wonderful ship, the SS Great Britain, opens this weekend. Today, museum staff and their families were allowed to have a first look, and Alistair McKee joined them.
Salvaged from the Falkland Islands as a rusting hulk in 1970, the SS Great Britain enjoys being Bristol's busiest tourist attraction. The revamped museum makes little mention of its famous engineering history, instead telling the story of the life of the ship through those who sailed on her.
We are giving people an introduction to what it was like to travel on the ship, to be a passenger or a member of the crew, to hear their stories, so that you can better understand. When you get on our amazing ship, you can understand how it was built, where it went, and what people did when they get there.
I mean, it was a pretty popular exhibit before. Why did you need to change it?
I think we felt that the museum was over 20 years old, and we also felt that there were lots of stories that we weren't able to tell properly. And we had this opportunity to really create something new and sort of enhance what is already a fantastic experience.
The museum's recently undergone a rebranding exercise, dropping the name SS Great Britain for Bristol Dockyards, which the museum says came partly as a result of a misapprehension that SS stood for slave ship.
I wouldn't say it was the primary factor, but it was a factor. But I think what our evaluation was also telling us was people weren't understanding the basic narrative with the ship. Why was it built in Bristol? Why was it important? Where did it go? What size was it compared to the Titanic? Which is so we were very keen in this new museum context to be able to address, in a family-friendly way, those particular questions.
At the heart of this new exhibition are the stories of people who travelled across the world and changed their lives forever. It might have happened 150 years ago, but it still feels very relevant today. Alistair McKee, BBC Points West in Bristol.
We're just over an hour away from one of the biggest games in England's history. Led by the legend Harry Kane, the team is taking on Argentina in the semi-final of the World Cup. Fans have already started gathering to watch the match, and we can join our sports reporter Damien, who's at Ashton Gate for us tonight. Good evening, how are your nerves?
I'm pretty nervous actually, David, as are some of the people here. There's over 2,000 expected by kick-off, hoping to watch England's men reach their first World Cup final since 1966. The sports bar sold out, and the rest will be watching the big screen behind me, where you can of course see me. Two of those people are Tony and Jerry. Tony, with just about an hour to go, how are you feeling?
The butterflies is just kicking in now, just a little bit. I'm a bit like that Man United fan that ain't cut his hair, so I've grown the beard, and it's just a case of I won't shave it off until we win it. So come on, lads, do us a favour, win it tonight and next week on Sunday.
And Jerry, how are you feeling?
Nervous all day, just walking up and down the house, just can't wait to get out and get the kick-off go, get it on.
Listen, it's Argentina, there's history, isn't there? Mexico, hand of God, 98 Beckham, revenge in 2002. How are you feeling about the fact that it's Argentina?
I came out with an expression this morning: roast beef or corned beef. It's roast beef every time. Come on, England. That's the one for me. So, like I said, at the end of the day, I think we're a better team than Argentina. They haven't really come up against the challenge yet. Well, they have a little bit, but, you know, the referees have done them some favours, so they say in the media. But I think we got a better chance. I ain't scared of a 39-year-old bloke. He's way past it.
Are you as confident, Jerry?
People are going to hate me for saying this, but I just think the Argentina curse is going to hit us. But I'm England all the way, and hopefully, how good Messi is, he has a bad game today.
Important question, Tony. You're inside. When we score and the beers go up, you thrown your beer?
I don't drink, so I'll be throwing a 0% thing up in the air, I expect, or something like that, or a Diet Coke or something like that. But no, I've been here for a couple of games now. The atmosphere is brilliant. Bristol City have done a brilliant thing to get the fans' village open. Everyone get behind the boys. That's the most important thing tonight, isn't it?
Very quickly, score prediction.
I've gone for 3-0 England.
I'm not going to say. 2-1 Argentina. I know.
You're supposed to be mates from
school.
I
know. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a libation or two and calm the nerves with an hour to go. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for...
Come on, England!
Thank you, chaps. Before we come back to you, I must tell you about some important cricket matches. This is a quarter-final of the T20 Blast. Reigning champions Somerset, they're up in Leeds against Yorkshire. They restricted them to 162, but they're struggling in response. They're already 5 wickets down. Gloucestershire, who are the 2024 champions, they're at Northants. They managed only 152 in their innings. We will let you know in our late bulletin if either or both will make Saturday's final at Edgbaston. As for the match itself, like I say, an hour to go. If you're not down here at Ashton Gate or one of the fan zones across the West Country and you're watching it at home, stay tuned to BBC One. Full coverage straight after us. David, it might be coming home. It might be coming home.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be lovely if they get 2 early goals? We get 2 early goals and we can just relax and enjoy it. But I've got a feeling it's not going to be like that because it's going to be very tense and exciting. And if you're watching at home or in a pub or a fan zone, then do take some pictures or video and send it to us on one of the ways on your screen right now. We can include them in our coverage tomorrow, which we'll do whether we win or we lose. Well, it's going to be very warm in those fan zones tonight. Shivali has our forecast this evening.
Hello, good evening. Well, it was another hot and dry day today. Top temperatures of 27 to 28 Celsius. That's slightly above the heat wave threshold value of 26 to 27. But we're on day 11 of the heat wave now, and it rolls on until we get to the weekend. That's the high pressure that's going to be drifting off to the west by that stage. And what that will do is start to draw our winds in from a more northerly direction, which will drag our temperatures down by a few degrees. But there's no rain in sight, I'm afraid, for those of you who need it. There's a lot of rain across Europe, tantalisingly close, but it's just not reaching us. But so this is the outlook then for the next few days. Over the weekend, it is going to be a little bit cooler, as I say, still largely dry, calmer conditions as well. And there is a heat health alert in place until the end of Friday. It's just a yellow heat health alert at this stage, but it's for those of you who are vulnerable in this heat. So back to this evening, and we've got clear skies right across us right now, not a shred of cloud in the sky, but we're starting to see that cloud rolling back in along those winds later on tonight, just grazing northeastern parts of the region. Further south, we have got temperatures of around 15 to 16 Celsius, so it's warm across Somerset tonight and just slightly breezy. That breeze is going to start to die down, perhaps a little bit more of an offshore breeze there towards the west. But into the morning tomorrow then, we've got a lot of cloud across us, some misty, murky conditions, but very quickly that cloud will burn away. So by mid-morning onwards, it's looking sunny right across the region. And we're expecting temperatures of 27 to 30 Celsius, but today we didn't quite touch those values, so it may be a bit lower tomorrow. But with less of a breeze, it is going to feel hot. And don't forget the pollen levels and UV levels are going to be high as well. So on to the outlook then, as I say, temperatures dipping slightly by the weekend. There may be the odd spit of rain, but nothing meaningful. And then those values starting to rise again into next week.
Gosh, we're sort of getting used to it now, aren't we? My thanks to you. Thomas Tuchel has apparently made some significant changes to the team. Well, he did ring me and ask for some advice a little earlier on, and I had to pass it on. The proper experts will tell you all about that in the programme that's coming up right now. But that's it. I'll be back after the football, not sure what time, probably about 10:30 or 11. I hope to see you then, but in the meantime, do enjoy your evening and come on, England.